Hi everybody. Today I thought we would have a conversation about how INFJs need to understand. We need to know the why. So when somebody hurts us or does something to us, we need to know why. We have to understand their motives, understand what was going through their mind. And quite often we just can't. And we will spend a tremendous amount of time on this, ruminating about it, and it does not serve us at all. I think this is a great topic because I, for one, have been guilty of this many times. And I know many of my clients also have spent a tremendous amount of time trying to figure out the why of what motivated people to do the things that they've done. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And I'm also going to share with you a story of mine that I spent years trying to figure out the why. But I'm also, towards the end, I'm going to share with you some tips on how to release that need to understand. Because it is a very powerful need that INFJs have. We all have it. So I think this will be very handy just to know some tips that will help us start to release that need to understand. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Trina. I'm an INFJ and I'm also autistic. I created this channel because I just wanted a place where INFJs, people like myself and autistic INFJs could feel seen, heard, and understood and less alone. And I also wanted a place where I could share resources to help other people like myself, because I know working on myself, I've been working on myself for years and there aren't a lot of resources out there for us, and that used to drive me nuts. So that's why I created this channel. So if you're returning to my channel, welcome. I'm glad that you came back. I appreciate all my viewers. I also invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate your support. All right, before we get going, I do want to mention, I know I've talked about this a lot, but I really think it's beneficial, and it's the HSP Toolbox course. This course, because INFJs are high sensitive people, I did not write this course. I do write most of my own courses. However, this one I did not write. It is by another lady that I really, really enjoy. This course is so beneficial for high sensitive people like INFJs. We are one of the highest sensitive people, especially if we're autistic. And this course gives us the tools, holistic tools that we need in a world to just, be in this world that was not created for us, so that we're not feeling overwhelmed. We're not feeling exhausted. We don't feel like we constantly want to go into our bedroom and just pull the blankets over our head and hide because it's just too much going on. Anyway, it's a high sensitive person, the HSP Toolbox. I'm going to put the link in the description of this video. So go ahead and follow the link if you want to learn more about it. I really highly suggest it. It's an excellent course. All right, let's get into this. And also, my dog is here. Oh, I was going to show you my dog, wasn't I? I promised. My big guy's here. Okay, here he is. I'm going to try not to drop the camera. If I do, we're just going to keep going. I don't edit my videos, so we're just going to go with it, okay? But here's my big guy. This is Duke. There he is, laying on the floor, right on the big stain. My son spilt pop on the carpet and it's stained, so he's hiding it. Say hi, Duke. Anyway, that's my big guy. He's a giant schnauzer. So if you hear him moaning or whatever, sorry, I'm just trying to fix my camera again. We're good. So if you hear him moaning or growling or snoring, it's just what Duke does. So it'll be okay. Just know that he's there. So that's him. That's one of them. My old guy's still downstairs. Okay, let's get into this now. INFJs, we need to know the why in everything. Like that it's a powerful need that we want to know why, right? I don't know about you, but I will spend hours researching topics. Just random topics that I heard about. I will spend hours researching them because I just want to know why. I want to know what's what, right? Now, that's all cool. That's what makes us unique and makes us show up our best. However, that why, that need to know, to understand, doesn't always serve us, because it also plays a part when people hurt us, that we need to know why. Why did they do this? What is going on? Why did they lash out at me? Just the why. Like there's so many parts to the whole why question that I don't even know if I can find words to describe when somebody has hurt me, all the parts to the why that I'm trying to figure out, right? And we will spend time. When I say time on this, I don't mean like 5-10 minutes here and there. I mean like weeks, months, years. I have spent years when I have been hurt really bad trying to figure out why. And it would come up almost daily. Remember I said I was going to share a story? I think I mentioned that earlier. I hope I did. Anyway, years ago, I had this job and there was a promotion coming up and I worked really hard. I researched this promotion of what I needed for it and all that, right? The why. I did some research and I did everything that I needed. There were some courses I had to take and I set it all up on my own and did everything I needed to be able to apply for this promotion. And then the time came that I needed to go talk to my supervisor about it. And this was a big deal for me because I really hated confrontation of any kind. So it took me about a week to like build myself up to go talk to my supervisor. And when I did, I was not expecting the response that I got. I was just simply knocked on the door and asked, I know this promotion's coming up and I was just wondering, your thoughts on how I could go about applying for it. She turned to me and she said it would never happen for me because I was stupid, I was incompetent, I was lazy, and I would never ever have success in this company. Then suggested I should probably go apply at their competition, because there's nothing here for me, right? And I was blown away. I didn't even know what to say. It like dug deep because I never turned down work. I would come in on weekends without pay just to ensure that I would meet my deadlines. I didn't get caught up in the office drama. I kept to myself. Why did this happen? And it hurt. Like it really dug deep. When people lash out at us like that, it hurts. When they do things like that, when they ostracize us, when they call us names, when they label us weird or strange, like it digs deep. That is a true hurt and it just knots up inside of us, right? That is really real. So naturally, we want to know why. Why did you do this? We, for the most part, INFJs, unless you cross us and we door slam you, we're kind people. We like to be kind to people. And we have a really hard time understanding why somebody could be that nasty. Now, back to my story. This was years ago. I want to say, I didn't really keep track, but I want to say a good 6 years. 6 years trying to figure out, ruminating almost daily about this situation and trying to figure out why. Why did she do this to me? It's like 6 years of my life I spent. And when we get pulled into rumination, we get stuck in our heads for hours at a time. This is not helpful. This can create anxiety. It can create depression. It created massive anxiety within me. I'm not real prone to depression, thank God. I'm very thankful about that, but many are, and it will cause depression. It will keep us in a negative space. Not only that, when we are stuck ruminating, trying to figure out the why, we miss those opportunities. They pass us by of greater opportunities for us. Probably the opportunities that were more meant for us than what was going on. We miss it because we are stuck in our head. In order for us to see those opportunities, to live our life, to find fulfillment, to find meaning in our life, we need those opportunities. In order for us to see it, we need to be in the present moment, not stuck in our head ruminating, right? The thing to remember is the why isn't really any of our business. And why do I say that? Because the why is completely out of our control. We cannot control the why. We cannot control their motivations. We cannot control understanding their thought process. We can't control them sharing why they did that to us. That is completely out of our control. We have no control on that. So in my brain, I'm going to say there is no point spending time on something that we cannot control. However, I did not know this back then. So I spent a crazy amount of time on it, right? It did not serve me at all. What is in our control is how we respond to it, our thoughts, our feelings, the time that we spend trying to figure out the why, which is out of our control. So it's completely none of our business, the why, right? I mean, it could be a number of reasons. It could be something that they've internalized themselves, that they've got going on inside of them and they lashed out at us. It could be the simple fact that they're just a different personality type. So the way that it was presented wasn't really the way they intended it to be. And the way they presented it wouldn't have really bothered them because they're a complete different personality type, not near as sensitive as us. And they didn't think any more of it. It just happened. They didn't give it much thought and they moved on. That's a huge one, because then we wonder, like, how do you even live with yourself? Everybody is so very different, right? So to understand the why is almost completely impossible. So there's not a lot that we can do about that. We spend far too much on the why, and we miss the opportunities that pass us by. When we are stuck in ruminating on that why, we don't show up like we should be. We will isolate ourselves. I did that. And when I say we don't show up like we should be, we will allow that ruminating of the why to hack on our self-worth, our self-esteem, our self-confidence, so that we don't think that we're good enough, that we're worthy to go and do the things that we want to do. And that's just not true. That's a story that we're creating because we want to understand the why, which is out of our control, and we're never going to. So we need to release this. This is why it's so important to release that need to understand. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do we do that? Because I did. I was like, okay, well, fine. Now, how do we release something so powerful inside of it, right? Because we need to move forward. Once we release it, we can really start moving forward. So the first thing that I suggest that helped me is when I started to ruminate, I became mindful because I really wanted to stop this. I understood that the why is out of my control. And I looked for the things that I could control, which was me. So when I started to ruminate, I would gently remind myself that I may never know, and that's okay. By doing this, it distracted my brain. I had to do it many times. I'm really good at ruminating, so I had to do it many times. And each time I gently remind myself that I may never know why, and that is okay. We're going to be okay. Next, the second thing, when feeling stuck, try and shift why to what now. Try and shift the, well, why did they do this, to, okay, what now? Ask yourself, what is my next best step? I will verbally say, okay, body, what do I need to do now? What's my next step? Or I'll even say, okay, higher self, what's my next step? It depends how you want to go, right? And then pay attention to what your body wants, what your body needs. You know what you need to do, but we need to pay attention to it in order to receive that information. We know what our next best step is. And it could be something as simple as, and probably will be in this situation, as self-care, meaning maybe you have a desire to go and root in your flower bed, or bake something, or go for a walk in nature and take pictures. And if that's what you desire, even if you've got a mountain of laundry, or you need to figure out something for supper, then take 10 minutes and go and do that, because your body is saying, this is what we need to do to get over this why and release it. So we'll do it. And number 3, and I've already stressed this, but I'm going to stress it again, focus on what we can control. We can control our feelings. We cannot control other people. So when it comes to dealing with somebody else, no matter what the situation is, the only thing we can control is ourselves. We cannot control them. So focus on that. What can I control? Also, another great thing to do leading to this is journal about it. If you're having a hard time, journal about it. Put that sentence on the top of the page. Okay, in this situation, what can I control? And start journaling about it. It's going to give us ideas. Next, even journal about those feelings you're having. When I find for me, when I journal about my feelings and put it out on paper, it really takes the power away from them. and so that I can see what really matters and I can see, okay, what's going to move me forward. I hope this was helpful. Again, if it was, please like my video. I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you again very soon with another video. Bye for now.